Hi guys, Kasie Joyner, NWTF R3 coordinator here, and today we're going to talk about dove hunting. We're going to go over a few habitat situations, we're going to talk about where you set up, and we're going to talk about some laws and regulations that you need to know before you go dove hunting. So let's just get into the video. Alright, one way to increase your success in the field is by looking at habitat. Dove like three things to be happy. They like water, they like food, and then they like a place to sleep at night or roost. So first place you should start is looking for a water source in the place you want to hunt. Whether it be a farm pond or a cattle trough or a windmill, those are all great sources of water because those dove will like to fly off the roost, go get a sip of water in the morning, and right before they fly up in the roost at night, they like to go get a sip. So that's an ideal spot to set up, and these places, they like to have clearance around them just like any prey animal. They like to see their surroundings and to see if there's any predators near. The second thing they need is food. So I'd be cautious of what you're hunting over, what kind of ag fields you're hunting over. Some of the best dove hunting I've ever hunted over was cut sunflower fields. So, for example, I would look at millet fields or sorghum fields, cut millet or sorghum fields. I would look at sunflowers or rye or wheat fields that have just been recently cut because those will have lots of loose seed in the ground, and those dove will scratch that up. They also like places next to gravel roads because, for example, like an oil pad on an OLAP property. We have a lot of oil pads on OLAP properties. They like to go get into that gravel and find small rocks to put in their crop to help grind up that seed that they were just eating. So keep that in mind when you're starting to look at places and scout places to hunt. The third thing is locate where the dove are roosting at night and set up under those trees or near those trees. Now those dove will be coming in really fast. They'll be zip bopping in all over, and it's some of the fastest, funnest shooting that you'll ever have. And I would also, and we'll get into this in a little bit, but I'd suggest setting up decoys around these areas by the water edges or by the roost trees as well.
Alright guys, so just a few basic dove hunting tips you need to know for Oklahoma. As a game warden, when I check you in the field, I'm going to be looking for your hunting license, your HIP permit, which is your Harvest Information Program permit, and you have to have that if you're over 16 or under 64. If you're outside those ages, you do not have to have it. And then I'm also going to be checking your limit of dove and if your shotgun is plugged. When I say a plugged shotgun, that's a shotgun that's incapable of holding more than 3 shells. So 1 in the chamber and 2 in the magazine tube. On your limited dove, you can have 15. We have 3 species. We have the mourning dove, the white wing, and the Eurasian collared dove. There is no limit on the Eurasian collared dove. So if you do say you shoot your 15 limit of your mourning and white wings, you can continue shooting the Eurasian collared dove as long as they have a head or fully feathered wing attached. And that's the information you need to know to shoot dove in Oklahoma.
Alright guys, so another way to up your dove hunting game is to put out decoys. Now, something that's really popular now are the rotating wing decoys. And there's a couple brands out there. The one I use is called Mojo, and I'll insert a clip here about it. However, the other clip-on ones that you can put on branches and stuff work just fine, and you can get like a 5-pack for $20. And these Mojo decoys are about $25 to $30. So you can get a whole setup for $50-$60. And the reason why we like to use these Mojo decoys is because there's just something with that spinning wing that triggers these dove. It catches the dove's attention. So like right now, I'm set up in some roost trees, and I have the decoy out front, the spinning decoy out front, and then I have about 5 or 6 dove clipped onto these trees right in front of me. And I have a huge view of the sky right here, but I'm kind of tucked back in some grass, although you don't have to be. And I should mention, I have camo on right now. However, it's not necessary. I've hunted doves in neon green soccer shorts before, so it's not necessary to need any of those. However, this is basically a simple setup to have a successful hunt. At least have some coming into us. So. Okay, I also wanted to mention some firearms. So this right here is a 12 gauge Winchester SXP, but I started out with a simple youth model 870 Remington 870 shotgun. That's a 20 gauge. So 20 gauge, 12 gauge, doesn't matter. They'll do the job just fine. Just spooked some dove as I went to talk to you guys. Also wanted to mention a fefew places that we have public hunting available in Oklahoma. There's two ways you can go. You can go on our wildlifedepartment.com page and you can look at migratory birds and click under dove, and you can see the WMA is available for dove hunting. I suggest you call the WMA biologist and ask them if there's any fields been cut or what type of agriculture that they have out there. Another really good popular public hunting area is the OLAP lands, and I'll tag a link of the OLAP lands below as well. However, these are typically ag fields leased by private landowners. There's a lot of times with oil pads on them, and if you remember how I mentioned before, oil pads with that gravel dirt next to ag fields is like money. It's great. It's a great opportunity for dove, and I've shot a lot of dove off of some OLAP properties. So we'll make sure we add those below, and I'm going to get back to hunting because this decoy is doing its job, and I just jumped some dove as I went to set up this video. Looks like I ended up setting up on the wrong side. I think it was a combination of me spooking that dove when I went to make this video earlier, and the fact that they just kind of like to shift and move. So, you know, that's a part of it. That's part of hunting. You know, half the fun is just being out here in the great outdoors. So at the end of the day, I'm walking away happy. Okay, so that concludes our dove hunting how-to guide. We really hope that you enjoyed this video, and we want to remind you to take somebody new hunting if you can, and that the outdoors are always open.